suggest this show to somebody and tell them to watch it, I would tell that person to skip or chapter 5 entirely. It's just, I thought it was just absolute garbage, and that sucks because it took place on Tatooine, and we saw some familiar stuff, but I just thought that chapter was a complete abomination. And then, I mean, I thought it started to get better, with chapter 6 and 7 last week, and I thought this episode was really solid. It's not like this show is still not like what I hoped it would be. Pardon me. Like, I don't know. I just wanted it to be, I don't know. It's just a little bit more of your kind of episodic adventure sort of TV show. Yeah, I guess I wanted maybe the scope to feel bigger, but at the same time, like, this is just a show about a Mandalorian and following this character around. So maybe I just had a little bit too high of expectations, or just wanted it to be larger than kind of what the character or creators intended it to be. But anyway, we see this episode open up. They're surrounded in that house, or the bounty hunter. I can't talk this morning. They're surrounded in the I think it's the Bounty Hunters Guild that they were kind of trapped in. And we saw Moff Gideon kind of land his TIE fighter, which, by the way, that was epic landing in last week's episode. But man, Giancarlo Esposito as Moff Gideon is everything I wanted him to be and more. I thought that guy was just a phenomenal choice to bring in Star Wars and play this sort of like Moff character. And I mean, we don't even really know like his involvement in the overall story. Kind of, we know he's pulling the strings, like he was the higher up guy from the beginning. And I don't know, it's just like, what does all this stuff mean in terms of the grand scheme of things? What do they want this the child, the baby Yoda? What do they want this character or this creature for? We see one of the doctors in the first episode. He has Camino like clone symbols on his uniform, but like, what are the intentions of the Empire or this faction of the Empire? With this baby Yoda character, and they definitely have my attention with all of that. But yeah, seeing Moff Gideon in this episode, and he was very prominent. You got to see a lot of him. He was definitely that sort of, I don't know. He definitely brought those, I don't know, the familiarities of like what we saw in the original trilogy with I don't know, higher ranking Empire characters, whether it's what would it be, like Captain Nita and all those types of guys. But yeah, Giancarlo Esposito is just the perfect actor to be playing a kind of Imperial Grand Moff, or I guess he's just a regular Moff, but I thought everything that guy did in this episode was awesome. At the end of the episode, we see him crawling out of his TIE fighter wreckage, sort of, I guess, melting out a hole for him to crawl out of with the Darksaber, which, by the way, that was kind of a big surprise. And I mean, I kind of expected it to maybe pop up somewhere. I wasn't quite sure. And I mean, in all honesty, I didn't know how much lore this show was really going to deliver as far as like the Mandalorian, like being created by Jon Favreau. Like, I never really knew that guy to be a huge Star Wars fan, but apparently like the guy was like writing fan fiction, like stuff in college. And, I don't know, him working with Dave Filoni, I think was a good pairing. And, you can really see sort of the stuff they're pulling from like the George Lucas type, like Clone Wars and like the prequel stuff and incorporating it in this movie, which I think is great. I think having Dave Filoni working with Jon Favreau was a really great move. But yeah, the Darksaber, man, like that's just crazy to me. Yeah, you can see him. You can see him there standing on top of the TIE fighter wreckage, and I didn't remember where sort of the like where did we last see the Darksaber? I think it was towards the end of Rebels, but I did pull up Wikipedia here, just trying to figure out what exactly happened to the Darksaber. But here it says. Sabine eventually led a mission to Mandalore to rescue her father, Ulrich Wren, from Imperial custody. She wielded the Darksaber during the fighting, first at a remote prison and later attacking the convoy, taking her father back to Sundari. During the mission, Sabine met Bo-Katan and offered her the sword, but Bo-Katan turned it down as she felt was unworthy and had already had her chance to rule. Later, Sabine and Bo-Katan led a raid on the then Mandalorian governor, Tiber Saxon's Star Destroyer, in order to destroy the Duchess, the super weapon Sabine had built during her days as an Imperial cadet. Sabine used the Darksaber to breach the Duchess's core, causing a chain reaction that led to the Star Destroyer's destruction and Tiber's death. After the raid, she finally persuaded Bo-Katan to accept the weapon by showing her that the other clans were willing to follow her and stating that the Force had brought the saber to her so she could pass it on to Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan accepted the sword in memory of her sister Satine and for the honor of her clan in Mandalore itself. So yeah, Bo-Katan had the Darksaber. I don't think Bo-Katan is around anymore. So that's an interesting thing to sort of add to Star Wars canon. But yeah, it's really interesting. I loved seeing Moff Gideon standing on that TIE fighter. And that whole sequence with the TIE fighter was incredible, man. Like, that's something we've never seen in Star Wars at all. And like, I knew the Mandalorian was going to be getting his jetpack at some point. It was just a matter of when. And yeah, of course, they saved it for the season finale, which was great. But yeah, him like using, I don't know what the tool is, but using his kind of, I don't know, what is that? A japple? I'm not quite sure a grapple hook. I don't know. But yeah, I thought that was really great. And just the way the sort of TIE fighter maneuvered and just seeing a character hanging on to the back of a TIE fighter was great. And then, he stuck his, I don't know if it was his ion grenade or whatever that was that he stuck on the TIE fighter to shoot it down. But yeah, that was great. And just even the whole like standoff in like the town or village, like all that stuff was great. You see they eventually get the flame trooper to kind of smoke them out, or just burn them all. It's like, well, it's come to this, so we just have to kill you all. I thought that was really good. And then the stuff, I completely almost forgot about this. The beginning of the episode with the stormtroopers, that was some of the funniest stuff in this entire season. And of course, it would come from Taika Waititi, who directed this episode. And I was texting with my brother a little bit ago, and we think that's Jason Sudeikis as the sort of main stormtrooper there that had Baby Yoda in the bag. We think that's him. I don't know for sure, but that sounds a hell of a lot like Jason Sudeikis. If not, let me know down below in the comment section. I don't know. Maybe we'll see like an official like casting list or like on IMDb of who those two are. Even like the second stormtrooper, that really felt familiar. Like his voice really sounded familiar to me, but I couldn't pinpoint who it was. But I don't know. I like that they kind of throw in some familiar sort of actors, kind of sprinkle them in throughout the season. But yeah, it's a shame that Quell, voiced by Nick Nolte, it was confirmed that he was terminated. I don't know. Maybe he is actually alive, and there's just more to his death. But I did like that character. But I don't know. Maybe Nick Nolte didn't want to hop in the voiceover booth for a second season. But that was a great character. He had some great lines. The whole "I have spoken," that has become a popular thing across the internet. But yeah, for the rest of this episode, I really enjoyed it. Them trying to escape the Bounty Hunters Guild, and having to go through kind of like the sewer system where there's like liquid lava. I thought that was really like visually interesting. And Carl Weathers as Grief Karga, man, like if you would have told me like 2 or 3 years ago, like, hey, would you cast Carl Weathers in Star Wars? I was like, probably not. I'm so used to seeing Carl Weathers as Apollo Creed and Chubbs from Happy Gilmore. Like, I don't know, but like he just completely fit into this show, and I love the character of Grief Karga, and I don't know. I just think the guy fit this show so well. And even just his interaction with Werner Herzog as, what is he, the client? I think that's his only name. I thought all that stuff was great. And Werner Herzog himself, man, like he's probably my favorite thing about this show, in all honesty, is just like I could just watch those scenes like bounty hunting is a complicated profession. I could just watch that stuff on endless loop. But like this show, it was kind of a roller coaster for me. Like once I got to like episodes 4 and 5 and even 6, I didn't really all that care for, like the prison break stuff. Like I thought it was well directed, but I was just not interested in sort of the storyline at all. And I just really wanted this to be kind of not so episodic. And I mean, it's fine for what it is, but I don't know. I just wanted a little bit more out of it. So I don't know. That's kind of where I stand with this show overall. I'm really looking forward to season 2. I hope they kick it up a notch in terms of the action and the story, having the episodes being a little bit more kind of interconnected, having a better through line and not being so closed off from the beginning of the episode to the end of the episode. It's kind of like television, 25, 30 years ago. That was kind of the standard where, like Star Trek, The Next Generation, each episode would open up and the story would end by the end of the episode. And you could tune into the show at any point in time and not have to watch the other episodes, and you could follow along easily. And that's kind of how it feels like this show is designed, which is fine. I was just kind of hoping for a little bit more connective tissue throughout each episode and having things matter a little bit more, I suppose. But anyway, I'm satisfied with this finale. I thought it was great. I loved the stuff with Giancarlo Esposito. I think Pedro Pascal is a great, I guess, voiceover artist, even though you get to see his helmet, or him take off his helmet in this episode for a brief moment. But yeah, there's also the fact that it's for most of the time, it's not Pedro Pascal in the suit of the Mandalorian. It's like stunt doubles and stuff like that, which I understand. I mean, if that's the way you're gonna portray the character, I wouldn't make an actor get in that outfit for 10, 12 hours a day. So it's not a big deal to me. It doesn't like take me out of the show or anything like that. But yeah, I'm enjoying this show. I thought Gina Carano as Cara Dune, I think she's great in this show. Like, She was in the first Deadpool movie. I did not think she was very good in that at all, but like she's really improving. And then of course Taika Waititi voicing IG-11. I think that is just I think he's so rad as that character, and you know he definitely brings like his familiar like Taika Waititi comedic style to the table, but like he makes it feel natural, I suppose. Like when I first heard that he was going to be voicing IG-11 or this IG character, I thought it was going to be a little bit much. I thought it was basically going to be Korg from Thor Ragnarok in an IG droid. But I mean, it's a little bit of that, but I feel like he does play it very well. Um, like he plays the droid very well, and it feels like a droid, like what we've seen in previous Star Wars stuff. So I thought that was really good. But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. I just wanted to let you know my thoughts of Chapter 8, Redemption, and kind of my thoughts of the overall season. There's some good stuff. There's some really bad stuff in this season. But I'm still looking forward to season 2. Hopefully next year. Hopefully next fall they'll release it. So anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Rex Overdrive. I'll see you next time.